friends.
Hi.
Welcome back. Say howdy in the comments, maybe where you're visiting from, because I always like to know who we're chatting with. But yeah, how was your week?
Pretty good. Quiet. Just kind of taking it, rolling with things. How about you?
It's been a good week. I felt like I just didn't have a capacity for a lot, so it's been a much slower pace this week, but it's been a good week.
Cool.
Um, it is warming up though.
Yes.
So we have iced tea in our cups today. Trying to refresh ourselves while taking care of ourselves. It's Dandy Detox tea, which Brad is made with dandelion, and it just kind of helps get all the crud out of you. So yeah, we're
and local
that.
honey
and
to help
local
with the
honey.
whole allergy situation.
Yeah, gotta love the pollen season. So today we were just kind of thinking about, what to talk about when we think about being creative and pursuing creative dreams and creative expression and all of that. And also just the conversation about phones. That can be they can be so helpful, but they can be such time suckers. I don't know how many times I sat down on the couch and I was like, I'm going to read a book or journal, or, even my time with the Lord. And
or you get on there just to look up one thing and then you do like 30 and you're like, wait, I got on here to do this.
That's not even what I got here
maybe
for.
It's not even opening an app. Just look at your calendar or
yeah. But next thing you know, you're on something and you're doom scrolling. And how much time that just eats up, and like, why do we do it? And there's a lot of the psychology, I think, behind the dopamine hits and the way it's designed to pull us in and suck us in. But ultimately, I think it boils down to it's easy.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's convenient. Playing games on your phone or getting on social media or watching YouTube videos. All of that is...
Careful now. You're stepping on my toes.
My YouTuber army friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's convenient because we all have our phones with us. I mean, it kind of stings when I'm trying to be intentional about leaving my phone in the other room and my kids bring it to me because you must want it. Like, you always have it with you, Mom.
Have it with you.
So yeah, I think it's convenient. It's easy. When I want to just sit back and relax, it's right there like a trusty friend. And in that, it wastes my time. For me, it makes me tend to be dissatisfied with what I have and want new things, better things, sparklier things. And then I think it also, we know it reduces our ability to focus. Our attention spans have gotten so short because we're used to just seconds to a video. I mean, when you look at trying to make a YouTube channel, that's what they tell you. You've got X number of seconds to pull them in before people are scrolling away. And I'm no better. I don't say this from a place of I'm superior and have this amazing attention span. I think our phones can be a tool and they can be valuable. I don't think it's that phones are evil. It's just about putting things in place and being intentional about our time on electronics. Because it's not real. It's not where we're at. How much of online is, our whole thing here is we're not edited. We're not polished or refined, other than occasionally when we start a video, like today, we did a really, really awkward, rough first minute and just it was
tripped over ourselves
like multiple times. And so we're like, we'll just restart. Let's just try again. Other than that, the conversation goes where the conversation goes. It's not edited. It's not filtered. It's not processed. Other than I will sometimes lighten it afterwards. There's no post editing done. But so much of what we see online is heavily edited, heavily curated, and it's not real.
Right.
And so sinking your toes into something real, sinking your teeth into something real, toes in the sand, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I got thinking, like, with being creative, what are the things that get in the way of it? I know, we've talked before about maybe it's something someone said to you, or the way your creative expression was received, that can hold us back. Our inner voice telling us that it's not good enough, it doesn't have value, I'm not creative. But a big one in my life is convenience and time. So like all my craft stuff's kept in the schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not in the house, it's not accessible, it's not handy, it's not ready to go. I'd have to pull something together, and that makes it feel so much more like it's for a project.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this thing, and so I gotta go get my stuff out. I gotta haul it over here, bring it in. And there's no sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. There's no like accessibility to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me this idea. Creative baskets. So we're each making a creative basket, and I'd love for you guys to make yours and even show them to us, share it with us. We do have an Instagram as well. So if you want to go post and tag us on your Instagram, I don't know if you can post pictures on YouTube, but I would love to see your creative baskets. Mine, of course, is this beautiful vintage wire basket, because I'm obsessed with vintage wire baskets and I have a lot of them. You have a smaller, do you want to show them yours? A smaller acrylic container.
It's just the whole rock painting stuff.
So for you right now, we'll talk more about what's inside. Mm-hmm. So just whatever basket. It could be a bag. It could be a grocery bag. Get maybe a paper bag. Like next time you go to the grocery store, because you can like cut and fold the top and make it into a little container. A container you have around the house, a vintage basket, whatever, and then get some supplies. So if you don't have them, make a list, go to the store, things that...
Or even like a reusable groceries bag or a tote bag that you could hang on a doorknob or on a hook.
Yeah. Get a container.
So space is not an issue.
Right. Yeah. Because it's definitely, this is meant to be something that you can keep in the house where you're going to be, sitting. So it's really, the idea is it's accessible, it's grabbable. And I think that the other thought I had with this was that it takes away it has to have a purpose excuse for not being creative, because the things I do in here, like, they're just quick projects. It's like doom scrolling, right? There's no purpose to it other than to be entertained. Same with this. The only purpose is to be entertained. And so it kind of takes that away, because I don't have all these specific things. I have pieces. So you'll see in mine, pieces of things I can just grab. But yeah, so if you don't have craft supplies on, you think about what mediums you might like. Make a small list. Don't buy all the things, just buy a few things, and then put together this basket. So I'm going to build mine with just some stuff I have on hand. And then, yeah, we can conduct through that. So I started with, I have an obscene amount of watercolor paper, because when the shop, it's really nice paper, guys. Uli is a really, really good brand. And I bought a lot because I was buying it like wholesale there at the end. And I'm a cheapskate and don't want to pay full price. And so I stocked up, and then have done nothing with my watercolor. For years, I've done nothing. I've wanted a watercolor and haven't. And so, yeah, I'm going to put in some of my nice watercolor paper. And then we also have some nice watercolor kits. And so I'm going to stick that in a few paintbrushes. These are the ones I hide from my children, so they're not just destroyed. And I didn't think this through. Do I have anything else vintage? I don't have anything else vintage. Okay.
You have some little jars.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find a little jar or container. Oh, wait, I know, over here. Surely there's something in here. Here we go.
Okay.
earthquake. Little jar. So I have that, and because I am fickle and ADD, I have the painting supplies, but I also grabbed a notepad because one thing I've thought about lately is I think I want to start writing poems again. Not to share, just for me, but I must take a notepad.
I feel like we just talked about that recently, didn't we?
I think I did. And then lastly, these are granny squares I've made. Eventually I don't have the attention span for a big project. So I found I can make granny squares whenever I feel like it pretty quickly. And then once I have a bunch of them, I can make a blanket out of granny squares. Nice. So I have the granny squares I have to help me remind myself of the pattern I used. And then a couple skeins of yarn and a couple of hooks. And that is my creative basket. So I'm going to keep this in my house somewhere, either in my room or by my couch. We'll see. But the idea is so that when I have a quiet moment and I start to look at my phone, and I know that like this starting out is going to be very intentional. It's not going to be a reflex. So it's going to be remind myself when I pick up my phone, oh, I'm on my phone. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to go grab this basket and pick something, and just watercolor for 10 minutes or write thoughts down or whatever. But yeah.
Well, and I think that being the key is having it somewhere where it is convenient, maybe near where you sit, or like to just kind of when you're like, okay, I just want to sit down and chill for a few minutes.
Even better, I think, on display.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can have a pretty basket and have it on display, or yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to share yours?
Well, so for me, I live in a small space. Mm-hmm. So all of what I do have is fairly limited, but it's also very accessible. Mm-hmm. So like for me to have another basket with just a little accumulation,
would almost be redundant.
It would almost be redundant. Exactly. Like I have next to my chair, I have a couple books and I have my Bible and, I have those things within arm's reach, but yeah. And so for me, I have a small little cart that I keep my crafty stuff on. And so, and then my small paints, as they've been accumulating, they've just gone in here. And then I'm just keeping a few rocks every now and then when I happen to find a rock that I feel would be good for painting. I put it in there and so that when I'm, I have it available. Then when I could just grab this little bin. It's easy for me to grab this little bin.
Yeah, it's a kitted up, ready to go. Which I think is the idea. There's going to be seasons. I know that, you and I have talked about how you're in a season where you don't feel this grand desire to be like physically crafty. And we've talked about how creative expression isn't always arts and crafts. It's 100 different ways. And so yours is, with your channel you're building and, sharing in that kind of creative expression.
And with cooking.
And with cooking and within the garden.
So, so all those things are kind of at my, I find I'm in a season where currently I'm not struggling as much to leave my phone alone.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Definitely been there. But like right now, not so much. I mean, even, we joke about the YouTube and it's like, I'm turning more to books and other things instead of, I'll start to, I'll get in bed at night. That's a big one for me. Just get in bed and scroll your phone. That's what I used to do. I'd get in bed and watch videos until I fall asleep. And I'm finding now, I will either put on, music, soft music or, kind of a different train,
season and a different train.
But
I do think that there's value in having it available and accessible because, like you said,
sure.
Then when it strikes your fancy, you're like, you know what? I kind of want to do something today. It's like it's not, oh, I've got to go like pull out all my craft stuff and figure it out. Like this is something you've come to enjoy. The simplicity of just painting a little rock, and every rock is different. And so there's a lot of movement and creativity in that. So having that ready to go so that when the day of fancy strikes you, like it's easy to grab.
Yeah. I don't have to go, oh, I got to go find a rock. I got to go collect it. Yeah,
exactly. Got to get my paintbrushes, got to get my paint.
It's accessible.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the whole idea behind this, is making these mediums accessible.
I do like, sorry.
I was going to say, whether it's like this, where it's very focused, you've got this one thing, and you do have some other crafts, but this is kind of the one that's ready to go. This is it.
Right.
And whereas like mine's got a variety pack of things. So I think it really reflects you and kind of what your interests are, as well.
Well, and I was going to say, you know, there's some great, you know, little kits out there. If you're not, you know, if you're not a crafter per se, that you have like a storehouse of stuff or whatever, there's little kits, you know, that you can get for little ready, you know, easy projects that you can do when you're, you know, short ones, or short contained projects, what I'm trying to say. They don't require dragging out your craft room.
Right.
Just a little contained, whether, you know, they make these tiny little watercolor sets, or
have you seen the ones that are like, they're like that big? It's this tiny little watercolor notebook with like just like this tiny little easel of like 5 paints. So you could take it hiking. Like if you were doing like the mostly seen it advertised as a concept is like if you're doing one of those like multiple day hikes. I don't know what they call those. Is that just backpacking at that point?
Yes, I guess.
But yeah, like it's something where like space is precious, weight is precious. You could bring something like this to still be able to capture. Those are super cool. I'm not backpacking, so I don't need it, but they're cool. But yeah, I think that there's value in just doing things too, not to be a finished product. You know, with a notepad, I think about poetry. It's not about writing a poem and having this finished poem. It's going to be about just like what thoughts are rolling around in my head, and then like, can I word this in a beautiful way? Because we can get so caught up in it needing to be, when we express ourselves creatively, that it needs to be this finished thing. It needs to be a finished painting, or am I making cards to be able to use later, or is it, you know, rocks to hide, or is it, you know, all these things that like make it harder, make you overthink it, make you want to just retreat and just scroll on your phone because that's easier.
And you know, the other thing is just having a notepad and a pen, and when you feel that urge to start scrolling, instead set your phone aside or set a timer and allow yourself just to daydream for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just let your thoughts run loose. Have your notepad if you want to write anything down. I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be pull out paints or, you know, it can just be like things that you want to do. And because I think in the busy, one of the way, you know, like you said, we turn to our phones and just sit and scroll. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, rarely do we walk away from those sessions feeling inspired and better about life.
Oh yeah.
It, like
every once in a while you find something,
but oftentimes it's, you know, it's the comparison game.
It's or the world's going to crud again.
You know, or it's the gossip chain and something that makes you mad or whatever. It's the world, you know, whatever it is. It's like, and how often do we give ourselves permission to just sit down and take a few minutes and just
be?
Just let our thoughts run freely.
Doodle.
I was thinking you could doodle while you're doing that.
Doodle-a-doo.
Doodle-a-doo.
I was thinking when you said that, actually, of something you did. I think when I was a teenager is the first time I really remember it, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And you were like, not that big of a deal. Scrap of paper, and you just do random lines all over it, like squiggles and swoops and loops, and then it was like you could color in each shape. And it was just, I loved it. It was cool looking. It was unique. Everyone was different. There's that. And then something I was going to put in here and I forgot. So I will have to get that afterwards is an adult coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
Because choosing colors and coloring is still creative. It's still expressing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still it's so restful and restorative. I mean, even something as simple as that, taking an adult coloring book and coloring in it, like, you know, I don't think we take the time to do a lot of those things as adults,
Mm-hmm.
especially in my season with kids and all the things that I should be doing. And when you sit down and you just color with kids for a little bit, you're like, wow, that was really nice.
Yeah.
So I want to put that in there too. So yeah, I think find ways to just let your creative juices flow, and maybe replace some of the doom scrolling, some of the phone usage with something a little more restorative, a little more restful. So again, I'd love to see what creative baskets you guys come up with. Baskets, bins, bags, boxes. Yeah. So I'd love to see if you want to share that. And then I guess we'll see you next week. And I hope you guys have a beautiful week. Bye,
Bye.
friends.